So the bill also contains provisions for warrants or other equity interests in firms that use the facility. It contains some limits on executive compensation. The executive compensation issue is, of course, this enormously symbolic issue. In dollar terms, it's actually a pretty small issue, but it's there. And in terms of the housing piece, there's a huge amount of precatory stuff that actually was not in the bill at all for quite a while. Things about helping people try to avoid foreclosure, maximizing the use of existing programs, working with the other entities in the federal system, including Fannie and Freddie and the Fed and the FDIC, who also have housing assets. I mean, trying to say, you know, part of what we need to do here is stabilize the housing market. I think nobody is arguing that we ought to stop the decline. To some extent, the decline actually is good for affordability once you get the credit moving again. But the sort of precipitous free fall that is epitomized by the fact that the median, actually not the median, the average house sale price in Detroit is $20,000. I mean, and it's just amazing. And why is the average house sale price in Detroit? And if any of you have been to Detroit, you know that there are a lot of very big houses that are, you know, 20,000 is a crazy price even in Detroit. And the reason is that the only houses that are being sold are houses in foreclosure, and they're being sold by banks who just want to get the darn things off their books. And so, you know, not only to help the homeowners, but also actually to help the stability of both the communities and the economy, doing something on the housing side is really important. As I said, there's a lot of precatory stuff in here. It didn't used to be there. What is missing is something pretty important, which is some way of breaking what has been the logjam for the last 2 years on this subject, that is represented by the pooling and servicing agreements that govern the securitizations. So these are the agreements that were designed to protect investors and designed to maximize the cash flow to the investors. While there's been a lot of work done to sort of stretch them to their limits, first of all, that is stretching, and nobody is entirely sure who's going to sue whom about what. And secondly, even stretched to their limits, they definitely put a damper on the ability to do loan modifications that people who do the analysis, when you compare doing that to foreclosing, all agree would be in the best interest of the pool as a whole and never mind the borrower.